Everybody, how's everybody doing today? You know what? I'm gonna have to apologize about. I had a hectic last couple of days. I know I haven't come out with a video. It's been almost 3 days. I didn't want to make a video. I'll be honest with you. I decided to take off. It was a nice day. I went out with the dogs. I was gonna make one last night, and Rocky decided to eat a belt. And thank God I stopped him at the belt buckle. And I've been dealing with that for the last day. So Rocky's okay though. He's still a big dummy. So as long as we get the big dummy out of him, he's perfectly fine. So anyways, I'm doing a favor for a friend. Tyrants 2, the guild, it is recruiting. They need 5 people. I'm a little late on this, but they didn't tell me they didn't need anybody yet, so it is what it is. If the guy gets a million line messages, sorry. So here are the requirements. You need 6 stars to be Conqueror regularly in Arena, at least Conqueror 1. And the guy, and message this guy, his lineup name is JONT9931. I'll leave the details below. So check them out, guys. I think they finished 7th in 10 vs 10, and they wanted to do 20 vs 20. I'm not 100% sure. You have to be active, by the way, guys. You can't just, you can't just not show up for Guild Wars and stuff like that. So let's go on to my video now. Let's talk about will runes, guys. And before we talk about will runes, I know people are waiting for violent runes. I will do that later on today or tomorrow morning, whatever the case is. So we're going to talk about will rune. First thing about will runes everybody has to know. They're not really good in dungeons, okay? Usually you're faster than what's going on the scenario board, the dungeons, even in Trial of Ascension. I wouldn't stack will runes, try and get 3 turns of immunity. It's not worth it. You're giving up a lot for 3 turns of immunity. Who do will runes go on? Alright. Will runes go, really, on support monsters. Somebody you want to make sure does not lose their turn. Their first turn. Okay? So, there's different kinds of monsters. I've seen will runes on Tyron. Do I agree with it? Not really, but I've seen it. Does it work? Not really. But I've seen it. He's one of the types of monsters that you could... He's an attack monster, but he has support skills that freeze in the end is pretty good. Now, I'm pretty much just giving you examples of who I've seen them on and why they're bad. Another monster I've seen them on is Vertihill. Is it a good idea? No, not really. Sorry. I'd rather have Nemesis on Vertihill or Revenge on Vertihill than will runes, to be honest with you guys. A good example for them is Praha, though. Praha is a support monster. Now, why? Because of her skills. You gotta look at the skill sets, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't have will runes on Praha. I've been told to put will runes on Praha, but I haven't done it. I personally want to put revenge runes on Praha over will. But she has this skill over here, which will remove beneficial effects and turn them into dots. It's a good skill to get off on the first turn, especially if you're dealing with a speed team. If a speed team is attacking you. Another skill is this mass heal. It recovers everybody's hit points by 50%. And puts her to sleep. Well, if that happens on the first turn, it's not going to put her to sleep because she's immune to the sleep from the will runes. But again, Praha's not really a great candidate for will runes. Now, who are the best candidates for will runes? I would say Chloe is. Why? For this, I personally have will runes on Chloe. I don't like the will runes I have on Chloe. I need better ones, but that's a different story altogether. But why? She's going to protect your whole team from dying on the first turn if the rest of the team gets frozen or stunned. Okay? So, Chloe is actually the perfect candidate. So let's say a speed team attacks you, like my regular speed team, and Tyron goes, you know, and he freezes everybody. He's not freezing Chloe. And Chloe can still put up her shield at some point. This was also a reason why the whole attack bar thing is a problem for some people in the top 100. So Chloe's gonna end up protecting your entire team from dying with will runes. What kind of stats? All right, let's just show for Chloe. All right, what kind of stats do you want to look for in will runes? You want speed substats. As you can see, this one has +8 speed, and this one has +5 speed, which is pathetic speed substats, but that's what I got, and I wanted to put will runes on her. So, and you see my Chloe, her speed is pathetic right now, but whatever. I had to give it up for the will runes, for the way my defense was going. So speed is a big thing with will runes. Now, what else are you looking for with will runes? You're really not, and you are at the same time. You're looking for accuracy with will runes. You see this will rune right here? One of the main reasons why I put this rune on Delphoid, this specific rune, was because it had 19% accuracy on it. And I want Delphoid, this one has 14% accuracy on it as well. I want Delphoid to be able to get this second skill off, and in a good way too. So she can reset cooldowns and stuff like that. But the main reason why you want Delphoid on will runes is because she removes harmful effects on all allies and grants immunity for 2 turns. The heal is whatever, that's a plus. That's a huge plus. But the reason why you want the will runes on her is because, let's say, like, we're gonna give my team, for argument's sake, as the example. Bernard buffs, Tyron freezes. She could end up using her 3rd skill, and nobody's frozen anymore, and then there's immunity everywhere. So my whole efforts of freezing and stunning the whole team are done, you know. So that's a perfect example of what I want with will runes. Now, when it comes to substats and stuff like that, sometimes you do have to give up a few things to put will runes on. Is it worth it? Absolutely, in some ways. Those are pretty much the only 2 monsters I put will runes on. Another decent candidate to put will runes on is Kanamiya. But I don't use Kanamiya in the arena too much. I really only use him in dungeons and stuff like that. I have been using him a little bit in Guild Wars here and there, but I haven't been running into really fast teams that are gonna take him out immediately. So it'll work on him. I'd rather put Nemesis on him, to be fully honest with everybody. I've seen people put will runes on Briand. I technically don't really agree with it. I mean, I don't see why you would put... You could do like Despair Will, and then he could get his AoE off and stun somebody, but I'm telling you, the best candidates that I see for will runes are Chloe on my roster right now. Chloe, Praha, and Delphoid, and maybe even him. Another great candidate for will runes now. Okay. Reason being, and with him, I would probably look for speed substats and accuracy substats, but I'd be looking for speed and for him, defense substats. It's him. He has something like what Delphoid does. He just doesn't have a heal, but he removes all harmful effects, grants immunity for 3 turns, and then increases the attack bar by 30%, which is great. So Velihul is absolutely a pretty much almost must for will runes, guys. Another monster that's good with will runes. Now, the reason why I'm not really talking about substats, I'm going to tell you guys right now, will runes, speed. Speed substats is like the #1 thing you're looking for. The reason why I'm not talking about substats is because different monsters need different things. So that's just the way it works out. He's great. He's a great candidate for will runes if you're going to use him in the arena. Not if you're going to use him in dungeons, but in the arena he's a great candidate for will runes. Why? Protects all allies from death and then removes all harmful effects and puts immunity for 2 turns, which is just, that's great. He's a perfect candidate for will runes. I don't see anybody else over here really. You could put will runes on him as well. It doesn't hurt. I would seriously put Violent Nemesis over will runes on him. Yeah. You can also put will runes. I almost forgot about her, Annabelle, because she has a cleanse. She doesn't put immunity for 3 turns, but as I said, if you stun him and Annabelle's there, you can she can take all the stuns off, and basically all their efforts are done with, because Annabelle just removed all of the stuns, the freezes, the weakened defense, everything that they put on. So guys, I hope you got a good feel on where to use will runes. I highly suggest you do not use will runes in dungeons. Don't put it for dungeons, because your monsters are going to be faster and the whole immunity thing is going to be void. There's no point of having the first turn of immunity in dungeons. It is strictly a Guild Wars and arena rule, in my opinion. So guys, I hope you learned from this. I will be doing Violent Runes next, and that will be later on tonight. Thank you very much. Have a good one, everybody.